Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Uh,
Slide change करना.
I am Dr. Zulfikar Ali Maman, and I am going to give the lecture on the hyperthyroidism. As you have already gone through the previous lecture of thyroid gland by Dr. Mashuk Ali Khwaja, and I am continuing the same lecture. So you can see the slides, and there is the beginning of each lecture. As I say, here's a set of events unexplainable by common sense, and I promise you all be able to solve this mystery at the end of the class. That means once you are going through the lecture, I hope you will understand what I am teaching you. So what is hyperthyroidism? Actually, this is the rush of the thyroid hormone, and normally there is the secretion of this hormone through this thyroid gland. You can see in the picture, while due to some disease or some triggering factors, when there is the overstimulation of thyroid stimulating hormone over the thyroid gland, and we will find this thyroid hormone, that is T3 and T4, in the blood in more quantity, and that will also present some clinical picture as well. You can see this thyroid gland, which is occupying the trachea, and it is extending laterally. This has two lobes, and then a median lobe, which is connecting these two lobes, and this occupies the tracheoesophageal groove. The objective of this lecture is to understand types, clinical features, investigations, and the management of the hyperthyroidism. So, the clinical features, as you all know, once a patient comes to you and they presents to you with the increased pulse rate, palpitation, and intolerance of the heat, while the patient is eating a lot, still there is weight loss because of the increased BMI and the BMR. So then there is the overview of definition types, and then clinical feature, and then investigations, and then treatment. So what is the hyperthyroidism? It is a disease process which is associated with increased thyroid secretion. Thyroid hormone secretion results in predictable hypermetabolic state. As I said, this causes the increased BMR, body metabolic rate, and this is why there is the intolerance of the heat, and this is why while the patient is taking a lot orally, but patient loses the weight. So there are the types of the hypothyroidism. One is primary thyrotoxicosis. So hypothyroidism is also called as thyrotoxicosis. It could be primary. That means it itself may be initiated from the goiter or from the thyroid gland, and then it could be secondary thyrotoxicosis. So, what is primary thyrotoxicosis? It is diffuse toxic goiter, and its other name is Graves' disease. So, and the second is secondary thyrotoxicosis. This is either toxic nodular goiter or toxic nodule or hyperthyroidism due to rare or other causes. So, first of all, the primary, this is also called as the diffuse toxic goiter or Graves' disease. Most common cause of hyperthyroidism is this Graves' disease. And then this was invented by this Irish physician, and this physician did it out. This physician's name is Dr. Robert Graves, and the time is 1835. while common young females are more common in 20 to 40 years of age, and this whole gland is involved. And also, clinically, we can see as there is diffuse involvement of this thyroid gland, and there will be no any uh, bumps or the irregularity of the gland. So 50% family history is autoimmune endocrine disease, while hypertrophy and hyperplasia abnormal, that is thyroid stimulating hormone related antibodies bind to thyroid stimulating hormone receptor, disproportionate and prolonged effect. So this is the reason of Graves' disease. These are the antibodies which bind to the receptors of the thyroid stimulating hormone rather the thyroid stimulating hormone itself. And while they bind to the receptors, they they, they cause the continuous or disproportionate secretion of the thyroid hormones, which leads to the diffuse enlargement of the thyroid gland and then ultimately clinically hyperthyroidism. So there is also genetic accessibility as well. Second is toxic nodular goiter. While you say nodular goiter, that means there is a nodule which is increasingly secreting the thyroid hormone. So this is common in the middle age. While these are also the clues, uh, this age clinically is a clue, so that you may think of nodular goiter rather than the diffuse. And then, and while this is secondary, so there are the uh, eye signs may be present, but rare. And secondary thyrotoxicosis is there. That means not rising from the thyroid gland itself. And then nodules, there are some inactive nodules, and then antinodular tissue is overactive actually. You see, while there is overactivation, but between the nodules, the tissue is overactive. So the toxic nodule is a solitary nodule, which is toxic, or in other words, which is secreting the thyroid hormone in increased amount. So this is solitary overactive nodule, part of generalized nodularity or true toxic adenomas. This is autonomous, and then again thyroid stimulating hormone is suppressed by high T3 and T4. So there is a negative feedback mechanism when there are more thyroid hormones in the blood. So ultimately, this causes the depression of or suppression of thyroid stimulating hormone, which is released from the hypothalamus. So normal surrounding thyroid tissue is suppressed and inactive. That means the tissue which is overactive, this causes the suppression of the surrounding tissue, and then again due to suppression that tissue is inactive as well.
अच्छा किसी की भी समझ में नहीं आ रही या सिर्फ कुछ लोगों का मसला हो रहा है अगर कुछ लोगों का मसला हो रहा है तो उनके पास नेट का इशू
Well, this is then we are at the clinical features of the thyrotoxicosis. So what are the symptoms? This is tiredness, emotional liability, heat intolerance, as I told you, due to the increased BMR, even in the cold environment, patient feels heat intolerance. This is again the weight loss, even the patient is taking orally properly. And then excessive appetite. palpitation, again, thyroid hormone, especially T3, works like uh, adrenogens or adrenogenic hormones like alpha 1 and alpha 2. It acts like that, and that is the reason why there is palpitation. Then diarrhea, amenorrhea, blurring of vision or double vision. So this blurring of vision or double vision is a rare symptom, and amenorrhea is also a rare symptom. Most commonly, there is palpitation, weight loss, and heat intolerance. While what we elicit, that means the signs are tachycardia, hot and moist palms, and then signs of eye, that is exophthalmos or lid lag or lid retraction. And there are too many signs of thyrotoxicosis. Then agitation, thyroid gland increased or enlarged, and then bruit. So what is bruit? Bruit is this is done by the stethoscope, value of the stethoscope at the upper pole of the thyroid gland, which is palpable, and this is because of the increased rush of the blood through the superior thyroid vessels of the superior thyroid artery. While we put the stethoscope over there, we can hear the fluid due to the turbulence of that increased blood flow. Increased sleeping heart rate is a sign. Again, patient may complain of sudden getting up from the sleep. That is sinus tachycardia, arrhythmias, multiple extrasystole, paroxysmal atrial tachycardia, and paroxysmal atrial fibrillation, persistent atrial fibrillation, no response to digoxin. The myopathy, like proximal limb muscle weakness, are also seen in the patients, and this is called as thyrotoxic myopathy. So what is exophthalmosis? Unilateral or bilateral? Sometimes it's unilateral. Most of the time we examine, we observe it's bilateral. Infiltration, it is actually the infiltration of retrobulbar tissue with fluid and round cells. So you may think of what is exophthalmos. There is the infiltration or accumulation of fluid and round cells behind the bulbar tissue, that is called retrobulbar tissue. Okay. Uh, are you hearing me? Okay, fine. Uh, so this is all about the exophthalmos. You can read it. And then retraction. This is lid retraction. Lid is retracted upward, or the spasm of upper eyelid. Liver. Is it 10? Excuse me. Jenny, mute all of the option which yes.
No. Hello. हाँ yes बस. So मैंने mute करी.
जी. So these are the liver palpebral superior is supplied partly by synthetic fibers. Grave ophthalmopathy is autoimmune disease. So this Graves disease is the ophthalmopathy is autoimmune. This is called diplopia, weakness of elevator inferior oblique. And then there is the papilledema and corneal ulcers, malignant exophthalmos, and then Graves' ophthalmopathy, autoimmune disease, antibody-mediated effects on the ocular muscles. So these are the few of the complications of the thyrotoxicosis around the eye and the muscles of the eye. This is the sign. This von Willebrand sign is lid leg sign. That is, while patient is asked to close the eyes, then the upper eyelid is leg. That means it's slow to come down and close the eye properly. Then you disconnect it? Okay. Then there is the Danram sign. This is Jeffrey's sign. Absent crease in the forehead on superior gaze. While you ask the patient to look upward, there will be the loss of the wrinkles or creases in the forehead, on the forehead. Then there is Mobius sign. While you will put the patient finger close to the eyes, in between the eyes, there is no convergence of the eyes. Then there is a Stelzach sign. This is incomplete and infrequent blinking. That means it seems like the person or the patient is staring continuously to somewhere. There's no blinking of the eyes or the eyelids. This is periorbital myxedema, thickening of skin, mucin-like deposits out there. So this is rare, but this is one of the complications of the thyrotoxicosis. Then thyroid ectropathy. Again, this is very rare. This could be the complication of the hyperthyroidism. Then there is thyrotoxicosis fascia, thyroxine induced, and then Jod-based thyrotoxicosis, and then neonatal thyrotoxicosis. And increased thyroid-stimulating hormone antibody subsides within 3 to 4 weeks in this neonatal thyrotoxicosis. How do you diagnose hypothyroidism? As I said, clinically. So once patient comes to you, you may find the patient with the increased with the protuberance of the eyeballs. In other words, this is the eye signs of exophthalmos, and then lid leg or the lid retraction or the Stelzach sign or the Mobius sign, whatever you find the signs. As we discussed earlier. And then thyroid profile is done. This is a profile for the T3 and the T4, and they both will be raised, while the active part of this T3 and T4 is T3, which becomes 90 to 95% active in the periphery. This is the investigation. This is thyroid scan, and thyroid scan is indicated for the single toxic nodule. Whenever there is a single toxic nodule, we will advise thyroid scan, and this scan will show whether the swelling is warm, cold, or hot. If it is warm, that means normal. If it is cold, that means hypothyroidism. If it is hot, that indicates this is thyrotoxicosis. Children with growth spurt, behavior problems, and myopathy, you will suspect of hyperthyroidism. Tachycardia, arrhythmia, and elderly unexplained diarrhea and loss of weight again may be the signs of the symptoms and signs of the hyperthyroidism. So this is the thyroid scan. A shows the normal, while there is Graves' disease. You can see there is a rush of the thyroid gland in the Graves' disease. And then while the too many nodules are involved, this is called as multinodular goiter or toxic multinodular goiter. And while the only single nodule is involved, this is called as toxic adenoma. So this is the treatment. Along with this rest and the sedation, while the antithyroid drugs are given, the purpose is to make the patient euthyroid. That means bring the thyroid hormones to the normal level, and then we will offer the surgery to the patient. And if they are not fit for the surgery, we can also advise the radioiodine ablation therapy. So these are the antithyroid drugs below the age of 45 years. And while there is a small goiter, toxic goiter, so carbimazole and propyl thiuracil. Even in pregnant patients,
पक्का था मैंने सर ये लेक्चर में था मतलब को अच्छा मैंने दिया चूस देखा हाँ डिस्टेंस सिक्योरिटी सही है
डिस्कनेक्ट you मैसेज कर दिया अच्छा
अच्छा ठीक है
सर वालों के पास कोई नेटवर्क इशू है मुझे
हाँ हाँ ये पीपीटी शेयर कयो सर पीपीटी वरी तव्हांखे घणी पवंदी हिकिड़ो पीपीटी शो करे पोइ पुछोसि हा
शेयर स्क्रीन में
हाँ ये कहिड़ी पीपीटी है तव्हांजी
जी
ठीकु आहे हाणे तव्हां पुछोसि त हिन त तव्हांजी पीपीटी शो वरी
Assalamu alaikum. Can you see these slides? Unmute की था तो
अनम्यूट तव्हां थियल आहे हुननि खे पार्टिसिपेंट में अचो
न participants
हुते अनम्यूट कयो सां
तो कोड होती है
हा बस यही ॻाल्हि आहे सभु ॻाल्हाइनि थियूं
यस सर हो रही है
अनम्यूट कयोसि अनम्यूट थी
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
यस सर यस सर
हाँ हेलो
हेलो अस्सलाम वालेकुम
वालेकुम सलाम सर
जी ये लाइट इशू हो गया था डिस्कनेक्ट हो गई थी स्लाइड
जी सर
अनम्यूट
स्टूडेंट्स ना
अनम्यूट
So we were discussing about the medicines to make the patient euthyroid, that is, bring the thyroid hormones to the normal level, and to then to offer the patient for a surgical procedure, that is the thyroidectomy, either subtotal or near total or total thyroidectomy. So, as I said, carbimazole is the main drug of uh, antithyroid main drug, and then the propylthyrosol, and the this propylthyrosol is safe in the pregnant women as well. This is the oxidation and binding of iodine to tyrosine that results in the reduction in the thyroid hormone formation. Then the beta adrenergic blockers to reduce the symptoms, that is propranolol and then nadolol, and then iodides. Well, these iodides again bind to the thyroid hormone and reduce the formation and then secretion of the thyroid hormones in the blood. So, if it is Graves' disease, there is the diffuse thyroid. The advantage is we can make the patient euthyroid, and then we can also reverse the disease. Rapid control of the thyrotoxicosis is there. The disadvantage is treatment is prolonged. Failure rate is, well, there is 50% failure rate, and then this could be advised up to the time of the 18 months. If there is no any prognosis, then again we will advise the patient for the surgery. While 2 weeks prior to the surgery, we keep on the reduced iodine to reduce the connective tissue and the vascularity of thyroid gland, so that there will be less bleeding on the table during the surgery. While, we talk about the dosage of this carbimazole is 10 milligram 3 to 4 times per day, and the replacement is thyroxine 0.1 milligram. While if there is reduced thyroid hormone, we will replace it thyroxine with the thyroxine 0.1 milligram to 0.15 milligrams. Now this is surgery if it is less than 45 years and there's a large goiter. So advantage of goiter surgery is that goiter is removed and then cure is the rapid. The cure rate is high one. While the disadvantages are there are 5% incidence of recurrence, and again the risk of the surgery. Hypothyroidism is after the surgery is 20 to 45%, while this is transient, and then hypoparathyroidism, this is transient. So hypothyroidism can be replaced with the thyroxine, and while hypoparathyroidism, okay, disadvantage is recurrence and then risk of surgeries. What are the risk of the surgery is during the surgery bleeding, and post-operatively, and which is called as tracheomalacia. That is the if there is increase or huge or large goiter, mostly multinodal goiter, while the anesthetist extubates the patient, then there is thinking of the trachea. Due to the weakness of the trachea, there is thinking of the trachea, which leads to the blockage of the breathing. Now, what is the prompt management of that breathing is you have to reintubate the patient. If it is if you are not able to reintubate the patient, you will ultimately go for the cricothyroidotomy and then tracheostomy. Yes. So this is first and immediate postoperative complication of the uh, thyroidectomy if there is huge multiple burden, not in every patient, but sometimes due to weakness of the trachea, there is so can you reply in the chat? Everybody is listening. This is the end of the lecture, though this is not quite convenient, and few of the students must be having some problems while listening to me. So let's disconnection as well. You may ask the questions. Most Sithe, Sithe इनके unmute कब हो जाए questions still है वही तो सब गला इन्हें क्या खबर पड़ी questions बुधा नहीं अच्छा I have unmuted the students that means I can hear you but if someone wants to ask the question kindly speak one by one. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may ask the questions if you want to, but one by one.
Yes, sir.
The questions.
Sir, questions chat में.
जी. Surgery, questions of procedures of surgery will be there. No, there will be no, at the level of final year, there will be no any questions regarding the surgical procedures. But if you know, they may ask to respond to them. The previous questions of the examiner, they will come to know that you are a good student. They may ask the questions. Well, there's another question about the retractile sign. So this is the widening of the eyelids. This is widening of the eyelids opening. You can see patient's eyelids will be widened. So this is called retractile sign. Okay, now is it okay? The voice is clear to you? Do you have any other questions? If you have, I may answer to your questions. Now there is no any sound. I don't know what is the problem. And this percentage varies 5 to 10%, but sometimes it is more than this. And hypothyroidism as compared to hyper is more.